If you're in your 50s and wondering whether you can realistically step away from work before 60, this video is for you. I've worked with clients who've had millions of dollars saved and still couldn't pull the trigger, and others with much smaller accounts who retired confidently well before they were 60. The difference wasn't luck, it was the way they prepared. So today, I'm going to walk you through a checklist. You don't need to check every single box to retire early, but each one you do makes the path a whole lot easier. Think of this less like rigid rules and more like a playbook you can follow at your own pace. Take debt, for example. Technically, you can retire with some, but being debt-free makes everything else fall into place a lot more smoothly. So let's start there. Number one is to be 100% debt-free, or have a clear strategy around your debt. Debt is the single biggest barrier to retiring early, but it's not always black and white. Take your house, for example. If you've got a mortgage at 3%, it might not make sense to rush to pay it off. That low rate can work in your favor because it keeps more of your money liquid and invested. On the other hand, paying off the house lowers your monthly expenses and creates simplicity, which for many people feels like freedom. But both paths can work. It's about what gives you the most peace of mind. I also remind my clients this. Financial planning isn't about doing the exact optimal thing every single time. Sometimes it's doing the second most optimal thing and being able to sleep at night. Now, let's talk about bad debt, credit cards. Carrying balance at 20% interest is a non-starter. That's not just a drag on your finances, it's proof you're not living within your means. And I'll be pretty blunt here. If you carry credit card debt on a monthly basis, you're not ready for early retirement, period. And then there are car loans. My view here is firm, but not as firm as credit cards. If you're in your 50s and still financing vehicles every few years, that's a habit that will bleed into retirement and into your cash flow. Owning your cars outright and holding on to them longer makes life a lot simpler and your retirement budget a lot lighter. Could you technically retire with a car loan? Sure, but eliminate it puts you in a much stronger position. I am curious to those that did retire early and watching this video, did you do it completely debt-free? Number two is to know your real lifestyle number. Forget the headlines about needing $1 million or $2 million to retire. The truth is your number depends entirely on you. If you're debt-free and your lifestyle costs $60,000 a year, that money needs to last decades, and it has to withstand market ups and downs while you're drawing from it. If your lifestyle costs $100,000 a year and you're still carrying debt, then you'll need an even bigger cushion to feel secure. That's why step two is about knowing your real number, not the one you read in financial articles, but the one that reflects your actual spending. I tell my clients all the time, your lifestyle number is the most important in retirement planning. Get it right, and everything else becomes a lot clearer. By the way, if you find this kind of practical retirement planning helpful, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button so more people can see it, and subscribe if you want more videos that break down retirement planning in plain English. I post new strategies every week to help you plan more with confidence. Number three is to start living your retirement budget before you actually retire. I call this just testing out your retirement in your 50s. If you think you'll be comfortable living on $5,000 a month, try it right now while you're still working. Sure, some expenses will shift once you leave work, but this exercise gives you a clear picture. If you're constantly running short, you've uncovered a gap that needs to be fixed before retirement. And here's the upside. If you can make it work, you've just proven that early retirement is realistic for you. Plus, the extra money you don't spend can be redirected into building your cash reserves or knocking out debt even faster. And if you want some help running these numbers, I put together a free retirement workbook that walks you step by step through how to figure out your lifestyle numbers, stress test your expenses, and see how close you are to retirement. You'll find that link in the description. It's a great tool to use alongside this video. Number four is to stack your cash reserves. Markets go up and markets go down, but your bills arrive every month. The worst time to retire is right before a market drop, unless you're prepared. That's why I recommend having at least 1 year of living expenses in cash before you retire. If you need $60,000 a year to live on, aim for a minimum of that amount sitting in a safe account. This way, if the market tanks, you can draw on cash instead of selling investments at a loss. I call this the sleep at night fund. It's not there to earn a return, it's there to buy you peace of mind and protect you from sequence of returns risk in those early retirement years. But the smart money is putting that reserve into a money market account where they're earning a higher yield. Number 5 is to lock in your income with a bond ladder. Instead of crossing your fingers that the stock market will cover your bills, you can actually build yourself a predictable paycheck. Here's how it works. You buy treasuries or high-quality corporate bonds that mature each year for the next 2 to 6 years. In 2026, one matures, and that's the money that you're going to use to pay your expenses. In 2027, another matures, and so on. It's like setting up your own retirement paycheck years in advance. One of the greatest parts about this strategy is that you don't have to wait until retirement to build it. You can start the ladder while you're still working, so you already know exactly where your money will come from once you step away. Personally, I like predictable income, and high-quality corporate bonds often give you a little bit more yield than treasuries while still providing strong confidence that your money will be there when those bonds mature. I have a few videos outlining in more details how and why to build a bond ladder, so feel free to take a look. Number 6 is knowing your healthcare options to bridge until Medicare. Healthcare is often the single biggest obstacle in retiring early. Medicare doesn't kick in until 65, so you'll need a bridge plan. Here are the main options. COBRA, which can cover you for up to 18 months after you leave a job. The Affordable Care Act marketplace plans, and here's the key. Many retirees qualify for subsidies because they can control how much taxable income they do show. And health savings accounts, if you've built one up, they can also be a powerful tax-free way to cover expenses. Before you retire early, you should look at how much each is going to cost in the state that you live in. Number 7 is to become a master at tax planning in what I call the golden window. The window opens up the day you retire and stays open until you start Social Security and later required minimum distributions. During this period, you have an incredible opportunity to control your taxable income. And the decisions you make here can save you hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime. Some of the best moves in this window include doing Roth conversions while you're in lower tax brackets and harvesting gains from taxable accounts while your income is down. By managing your brackets year by year, you can reposition assets in a way that makes future withdrawals much more efficient. But here's the caveat. You need to watch your income carefully if you're going to use subsidies for health insurance. Just like IRMA, when Medicare starts, there are hidden tax cliffs that can cost you if you go too far with conversions or withdrawals while you are utilizing healthcare. This is where utilizing COBRA in the first 18 months of retirement can sometimes make sense. It gives you room to do conversions before you have to tap into the ACA marketplace where income levels determine subsidies. I've had clients who retired at 58 and use this window to convert hundreds of thousands of dollars into Roth IRAs at very low tax rates. Over time, that saved them 6 figures in taxes. The golden window is one of the most overlooked and most powerful advantages of retiring early. Number 8 is to simplify and automate your investments. Retirement should not feel like a full-time job. If you have accounts scattered across 5 custodians with overlapping investments, you're setting yourself up for stress. Simplifying means making life easier. Fewer accounts, fewer moving parts, and a clear system for withdrawing your income. Aim for one taxable account, one IRA, one Roth IRA, and a cash account. Automate those withdrawals so it feels like a paycheck every month. And notice what I didn't say here. I didn't say go out and create 7 different income streams. No, that's not needed. If you're properly allocated, your portfolio can generate all the income you need. If you already happen to have rental income or small businesses paying you, that's great and it definitely helps. But I wouldn't go and complicate things now just because someone told you you need multiple income streams. For most people, simplicity is the real secret. Number 9 is to eliminate big ticket items before you retire. This one is practical, but often overlooked. If you're still paying for kids' college, weddings, or co-signed loans, it's going to put extra stress on your plan. It doesn't make retirement impossible, but it definitely makes it harder. One of the biggest mistakes I see is parents stepping into retirement while still carrying those obligations for their adult kids. And over time, they start to quietly resent it because it's coming at the expense of their own retirement dreams. My advice, take care of those big obligations you see coming while you're still working. Because retirement won't be free of surprises. There will always be a new roof, a car replacement, or an unexpected emergency. Life doesn't stop. But if you knock out those predictable big ticket items before you work, you can give yourself a lot more flexibility when those smaller surprises pop up later. Finally, number 10 comes in at redefine work and purpose. Let's talk about life beyond the paycheck. Many people imagine retirement as quitting work cold turkey, but that's just not how it usually plays out. Some of my happiest early retirees consult part-time, teach a skill, or even pick up seasonal work that they enjoy, not because they need the money, but because it gives them purpose and structure. If you retire from something instead of retiring to something, you'll end up restless, bored, and probably overspending. Think about how you'll spend your time, traveling, volunteering, hobbies, part-time projects, and build that into your plan. So here's the bottom line. Retiring before 60 isn't about hitting some magic portfolio number or chasing 7 different income streams. It's about focusing on the practical things within your control, being debt-free, knowing your lifestyle number, test driving your retirement budget, stacking cash reserves, planning for healthcare, locking in predictable income, taking advantage of the golden window for taxes, simplifying your accounts, and clearing out those big ticket obligations, and most importantly, having a purpose for your next chapter. These steps might not sound flashy, but I've seen them transform retirements over and over again. If you're in your 50s and serious about stepping away early, start working on these. They'll make the difference between wondering if you can retiring and knowing you can. And if you'd like help putting this roadmap together for your own situation, I'll leave a link in the description where you can book a meeting with me. It's a no-pressure conversation, just a way for us to chat about your numbers, your vision, and how we can make early retirement fit your life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.